Knife dope. More dope. Come and get your fix. What's up, fuckers? Your boy's back with a fresh batch of dope. Knife dope. That's right, people. The hits don't stop. You know, the secondary market as of late has been pretty goddamn shitty. If you're looking to sell knives, that is. However, I think I've managed to find the cheat code. Swapping's where it's at. As a matter of fact, I think sometime in 2022, maybe even early 2023, someone in our community kind of gave a name to this. Big shout out to Lefty from Lefty's EDC. He called it the Circle of Knife. And typically, when I first started collecting, I hated to sell knives. You know, I really did. But to stay relevant in this game and to constantly get hands on new dope, you got to do what you got to do. However, I will not be releasing or getting rid of this beauty. As a matter of fact, I think they're back in stock. This is the Michael Gavko design. This knife was so impressive to me that I actually had it as the knife of the year in 2023 for the price point. These came in about $250. We've got 20 CV blade, wonderfully done hollow grind. Love that nice harpoon apparatus. Frame lock, contour, titanium. I think it's one of Wee's best knives to date. As a matter of fact, at Blade Show this year, they had a prototype to the XL version, which I will be keeping an eye on when they drop. But nonetheless, your boy was active again, this time around on Facebook. And so without further ado, let's get to the dope. Circle of Knife, baby, is back in the building. Now, my trade partner for this was a first-timer for me, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Daniel. He had a knife that I had my eyes on for quite a while. As a matter of fact, the knife is still in stock. But who wants to buy shit, you know? I really, I didn't want to buy it. So I ended up giving up a knife to get this one. So let's see how this arrived. Based on the videos and the pictures, I anticipate this being brand new. That was the, you know, what he labeled it as, and that is what the video suggested. So unless he did some switcheroo on me, this should be all good. Now this is coming from Monterey Bay Knives. Now I've kind of been on the fence, you know, with Monterey Bay Knives. Initially, first knife I ever got from them was the Old Guard. Ended up selling it, then immediately getting it back. You know, I reached out to the guy I sold it to, got it back, and then I ended up selling it again. But I've had 0 MBKs outside of the Old Guard, and this one is the newest rendition of the mini Old Guard. Now, this is a Ray Laconico and Sanford Owen design, who are the two gentlemen who are the owners of MBK. And there's a couple of reasons why this one appeals to me. Right out the gate, though, I will tell you, it's a little smaller than I anticipated. You got to read those specs. These are currently $225. You can get them on Monterey Bay's website. Now, one of the main things that I was interested in is this one's actually riding on bearings. The other Old Guard knives I've had have all been washer knives. Single form of deployment, which is a nice set of tits. Titanium bolsters. We've got a nice... we're going to call that like a weave carbon fiber inlay. Titanium backspacer and pocket clip to match. Big old lanyard hole for those weirdos. Let's check it out. Woo! Detent is dialed the fuck in. 7 inches is the overall length. Of that, we've got 3 inches in this beautiful drop point blade. We've got a little bit of MBK branding there on the lock side. ZDP 189 is the steel. You can see your Sanmai collided line there. And you can actually see the jacket steel and the ZDP right there at the tang of the blade. Plenty of room for disengagement. Look at that action. Very, very reminiscent of the Rosalinda. as far as the action goes. Except we get two tits on this one. That was my biggest complaint with the Rosalinda, was the single thumb stud. Nicely done. Maybe blasted. Yeah, it looks like we've got some blasted bolsters. Feels good in the hand, you know. 7 inches is a great size. I don't mind the size. I just was not aware that this was the mini, although it said mini in the name. Look at this action, people. Oh man, I'm a little bit gun shy because this thumb has taken a beating this weekend. Ergos feel good though. Definitely no issues there. We've got a 135 thousandths blade stock thickness, so a thicker blade stock than I typically like. It does feel a little bit thicker behind the edge as well, but not to the point of it being deterring me in any way. 3.7 ounces is the weight. Now the OEM for them on this knife is a mystery. They do not release their OEM. That seems to be getting more common, I think, you know. And it just kind of makes you appreciate more the companies who are totally transparent in who they use to OEM. I still don't know how I feel about it. You know, it used to not bother me, but nowadays it's starting to kind of irritate me a little bit. I guess not so much in this case, you know, because the knife is fairly priced for what we're getting. $225, ZDP 189, being ran at 67 to 60, oh wait a minute, 66 to 67 HRC. So the bitch is hard, people. Now, I've had, I think, a few knives in ZDP 189, and it's always impressed. Very, very sharp. It is not a stainless steel, though, people. I know there is a couple of y'all out there who disagree, but do your goddamn research. Let's go ahead and put some comparisons up to give you a better idea on the size of this. And let's roll with America first. We're going to start out with a classic, the Native 5 from Spyderco in S90V fluted carbon fiber. Then we've got this one. Might be my favorite quiet carry, and that is the Drift with bearing mod. So there you see the mini old guard up against those. Let's do a couple more, shall we? How about these next two, which are quite possibly two of my favorite pickups this year? First one's going to be this one, the Reich OEM'd Microtech SOCOM Bravo Mini. Fantastic knife, people. And then, of course, we've got this one, the Giant Mouse GM11, absolutely outstanding. So here we see that mini old guard up against those. Let's do two more. God damn it, two more. Actually, this next one is the only bolster lock currently in my collection, and also a favorite pickup of mine this year. That is the Stout from Devo, version 2. Don't get it fucked up. And then lastly, my only other Ray Laconico design in the collection, and that is going to be the Artisan Cutlery Rebel, which is available for purchase through me. You can get it for $1.50, $50 less than retail. And there you can see the mini old guard is smaller than both of those. Perfect size, you know. Would have loved a finger choil of some sort, you know, because I feel like the finger choil is even that much more important when you have a smaller knife. Now, granted, the blade to handle ratio is perfect on this one, so you're not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be that big of a deal to not have the finger choil. I just like to choke up on that hoe, so I always prefer a finger choil. But I think this is a great job by MBK. Big shout out to Mr. Ray Laconico and Mr. Owen for giving us another fantastic design. Eventually, I'd love to get my hands on one of their USA-made knives. I think it's the Sea Otter and maybe the Sea Lion or some shit. What is it, Sea Lion? I don't remember. But they do have a couple of knives in their catalog that are USA-made. But yeah, I'm impressed. In case you're wondering what I ended up giving up for this, I ended up trading my quiet carry Drift LC. The numbers, of course, would lean towards, you know, would lean towards me as far as giving up more financially. But I had the LC Drift for over a year and had got a lot of use out of it. It still was in fantastic condition, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. But nonetheless, you got to give up some shit sometimes to score what you're after. Well, there we have it. MBK Mini Old Guard, now here at KnifeDope Studios. But more importantly, I want to know what you fuckers think. Are you digging this Mini Old Guard? How about MBK? Tell me all about it. Love you, mean it. Until the next time. Cut something. Cut someone. Just don't cut yourself. Stay dangerous, fuckers!